Today we cover the topic of deity worship. So the last week there was a deity welcoming ceremony at Gauring Chandra Prabhu's home. I think some of you have attended, not everyone. So we will understand what is deity worship, why it is done the way it is done, what is the significance, do we really need to do, right? So in this picture you see a beautiful picture of a deity form, right? What is deity? Anybody want to say? What is the deity form of the Lord? We know idol. You heard about idol. What is idol and what is deity? Anyone want to guess? Anandita? Hmm? Idol has life. What about deity? Ah, yes, that's good. Yeah. So idol is not an actual representation of God. Like you can buy something like like a form of the Lord from temple, right? Or anywhere. It's just a picture, right? It represents Lord, but it is not the Lord. Deity is Lord himself. Deity is not a representation of Lord. He is Lord himself. So he reciprocates in that form. It's an incarnation, just like Krishna came as an incarnation, right? Narsingadev came as an incarnation, and they fully manifest the Supreme Lord's potency. So in that way, the Vigraha in the temple is the deity form in which Lord fully manifests himself. So that is why seva is done. For example, in ISKCON temples, you know how many times we offer bhoga to Lord? Guess number? Huh? 6 times. Morning 5 o'clock, a sweet is offered. 8 o'clock, breakfast is offered. Again at noon, 12:30, lunch is offered. 3 o'clock, snack is offered. 6 o'clock, another offering, and then dinner. So 6 offerings are done. And then 3 aartis are done, minimum. Morning, afternoon, and evening. And then, of course, at rest also there is an aarti in some temples. So this whole, so what is deity? Deity is the form of Lord, accessible form of the Lord that has appeared by the invitation of a pure devotee. So when a pure devotee invites, and he just doesn't invite just casually. He invites following a process and procedure. So following our agamas, the Vedic scriptures and methods process. For example, you might have seen the deity welcoming ceremonies in temples. The ones we do at home is a very simple form of it. But it's a very elaborate process of multiple days. It's like 6-7 days sometimes in some temples. And all that process is given in various scriptures. One that we follow is Narada Pancharatra. That is the guideline for deity worship and deity welcoming and everything. All the process details are given in what is the book? Narada Pancharatra. Yeah, that is the guideline for our sampradaya, which we follow here, given by Narada Muni himself, thousands of years ago, right? And in that, if you notice, I have attended ISKCON temple opening in Tirupati. Have you been to Tirupati, anyone? Yeah, very beautiful Lord, right? Up down there is an ISKCON temple as well. Very beautiful ISKCON temple with Ashtasakis. So in that yagna, they make a kalash. 1008 kalashs are made. And in each kalash, there is water there in that, and they are all sanctified waters. It's part of a yagna. 1,008 kalashs are there, and mango leaves are kept, and then coconut is kept on top, and threads are on the kalash. So each of them signify, like the kalash itself represents the 14 planetary systems. The kalash represents the 14 planetary systems of the universe, and the mango leaves represent the lotus, where Lord Brahma sits, and the coconut represents the Lord Brahma himself. And the threads that are woven on the kalash, that represents the 33 crore demigods. Now you can imagine all the demigods are participants in that yajna actually. They're all invited. Brahma is personally there. So in a yajna, to and there are various agamas recited, and there is a specific worship. All the parts of the body of Lord are invoked through darba. So darba is a specific herb that's touched on each part of the body of Lord, like eyes, nose, ears, forehead, abdomen, chest. So that is all part of various procedures to invoke the presence of Lord in various parts of the Lord, of the form of the Vigraha. So in this way, there is an elaborate process, many details. When such procedures are followed, Lord is cordially invited to occupy the form of the deity. And we promise him to actually that we follow certain standards to worship him going forward in that form. So in this way, Archa is invited. Archa Vigraha is invited. And why? So actually, Lord is supremely all spiritual, 100% spiritual. He is not accessible. But out of his kindness, he appears in the form of Archa Vigraha so that he becomes accessible. The Supreme Lord of the spiritual world, we cannot access with our eyes, material eyes, right? Our material senses, we cannot access him. So to make himself accessible, Lord descends in the form of Archa Vigraha. It's out of kindness and mercy of Lord. So it is mentioned, like there are various forms of the Lord, right? These are the various forms of the Lord. Para is the transcendental Lord in the spiritual world, right? So this Lord we cannot access with our naked eyes. And then there is Vyuha, Chaturvyuha form of the Lord for various functions in the creation, right? And then Vibhava are the various incarnations of the Lord, like Narsingha, Vamana, Rama, right? So Lord comes in various forms into this middle world called Vibhava forms. And then Antaryami. As Antaryami, what is Antaryami? Lord in the heart. Yeah, Paramatma. Yeah. So, and then finally Archa. So these are all the various manifestations of Lord in the, in the existence. Para is the spiritual world. Antaryami is within the heart. So it is mentioned, para is like water in the ocean, not easy to access. Antaryami is like water in the well. It is also not easy, you have to pull it up. But Archa Vigraha is like a water in the glass, easy to access. The same Supreme Lord manifests in various forms for easy access to us, right? So this specific form, Archa form, is out of great kindness, Lord manifests in an accessible form. Now you can relate to him, you can talk to him in the temple, right? Many devotees spend so many minutes just seeing the form of Lord, expressing their heart, right? You can express. So then it's not one way. By the way, this whole thing is two way. Meaning, it's not like you are expressing love and Lord is not expressing. It is two way. Now we'll see a lot of stories of how Lord reciprocates with his devotees, right? So now when we worship Lord, when we develop attachment to the Lord, slowly He will reveal Himself to us in our heart. So, and the bond between us and God grows from there. So that Archa is the most accessible form of Lord. So He is the most munificent form of all, right? So this is that verse. Okay. So this particular verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, third canto, 9th chapter, 11th verse. Tvam bhakti yoga pratibhavita saroja asse shruti knita patho nanunata pausham yajyadhyata murugaya vibhavayanti tattat vapu prayesh yase sadanugrahaya. Please read the translation. Anyone?
Oh my Lord, your devotees can see you through the years.
You can switch on. Yeah. Give it a second. Just press, keep pressing. Yeah.
Oh my Lord, your devotees can see you through the years by the process of bona fide hearing, and thus their hearts become cleansed, and you take your seat there. You are so merciful to your devotees that you manifest yourself in the particular eternal form of transcendence in which they always stood.
So Lord is so kind, He manifests in this world in the form that devotee wants to see Him, right? So you are so merciful to your devotees that you manifest yourself in particular eternal form of transcendence in which they always think of you. Some people are attracted to a form of Lord who is very like Maryada Purushottam, right? Who is very like devoted to his father, follow his instructions, very truthful, have only one wife. So they are certain devotees are attracted to such a form. And there are other devotees who are attracted to very like naughty form of Lord. Who is the naughty form of Lord? Krishna, right? So like that. So depending on the desire of the devotee, the Lord manifests in various forms. So I'll show you one video. You see, or you won't see. You see screen? Okay.
Krishna was very curious during his sleep, and like all small boys, he was naughty. There was a great joy in the heart of Yashoda because it was Krishna's birthday. Krishna! Son, it's your birthday today. Go and bring a female calf here and worship her. Krishna became so happy. He went out and chose a very beautiful she calf who was as white as the snow. Krishna wanted to catch her, but he couldn't because
You cannot see.
After a great struggle, he managed to hold her, and then he wanted to bring her into the courtyard. He suddenly noticed a pot hanging from a rope. He immediately understood that this pot was full of sweet butter. But how could he reach the butter? It was hanging high up in the rafters, and there was no ladder or anything to stand on. What to do? After considering carefully, Krishna thought, I can reach the butter very easily if I stand on this calf. He managed to climb up on the calf's back, and when he stood upright, he was high enough to put his hand into the pot. However, just at that moment, the calf suddenly jumped away. Please help me. He was left dangling there. Mother, please help me. Mother, please help me. Get me down. Mother, mother, please get me down. Mother, please. As soon as she saw him hanging high above the ground, she understood what had happened. Mother, please get me down. You stay like that. I'm not going to touch you, and I'll punish you for being naughty as well. I'll never help you. Mother! Who could bear to see Krishna in tears? Mother Yashoda brought him down. Krishna was extremely naughty in his childhood, but his beautiful face, his innocent eyes, and a sweet smile always made Mother Yashoda to embrace him.
So like that. He's always naughty, you know. So that form of Lord is, some people are attracted. Not only that, there are many other aspects to Lord Krishna, but that is one interesting, right? Yeah. So you want to read? Saket Prabhu. Just press hard. It will bulb up. Yeah.
Why does Supreme Lord appear as Archa Vigraha in this world? God is spirit, but as Kanya, no,
Krishna. As Krishna reveals.
as Krishna reveals his own power, but matter is his energy. Because we cannot perceive spirit in our present condition, Krishna allows us to see him in his deity form, made of material elements, which is identified to him.
Yeah. So Bhumirapo Nalo Vayu Kammano Buddhirevacha. So all the energies are manifest from Krishna. So everything comes from Krishna, but we can only perceive what comes from Krishna, but not Krishna himself. But when because our eyes are material, Lord himself descend into the material energy so that we can perceive him. Yeah, so with this we discussed. Yeah. So the significance of the Lord descending in deity form. Yeah. Please read.
The form of the Lord as worshipped in the temples is called Archa Vigraha or Archa Vatara, the worshipable form, the deity incarnation. The deity form is a spiritual form of Lord visible to our material eyes, so that we can serve him and awaken love from him. All neophytes must therefore engage in the worship of the Lord by keeping the Archa Vigraha at home or in the temple.
Yeah. So it is like, for example, you want to send a letter to a place, right? The government officiates a post box, right? So in India, you have this red box, right? Where if you keep your letters, it will reach its destination. You have to have proper card also. If you keep in that, if you make at your home a red box and keep it in there, will it go? It goes nowhere, right? But this particular red box, if you keep, then it will go to the destination. The difference is this is an authorized unit. That post box, red box is authorized by Government of India and it is served by people. So it will go. So similarly, Archa form of the Lord is an authorized form. It is installed according to the instructions of the Vedas. So it will have, basically it works like the Supreme Lord himself, right? So Prabhupada used to quote this example for easy understanding. What is Archa Vigraha? Yeah. So this is Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya is from South India, Karnataka. Udupi is the location in which he worshipped the form of Udupi Krishna. Have you heard about it? Has anybody visited there? Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, so this is a very special, beautiful form of the Lord. It looks like this. Right? The form of Lord has a butter churning rod in his hand. So the story behind that is once Mother Rohini in the land of in Dwarka, once Mother Rohini was telling Krishna, Krishna, your childhood pastimes are so sweet. I just want to remember once. Can you go to that farm once? And Krishna immediately turns into this specific form where he was holding churning rod. And the story behind the holding churning rod is one time Mother Yashoda was, she was, churning the butter, right? She was churning the butter by, pulling. And Krishna just wakes up in the morning and, he comes back and touches Mother Yashoda like this. She turns and, oh, my Kanaya, like that, she would speak something. But then she would not stop. Krishna wants full attention, right? So he goes to the front and holds the churning rod this time. And the churning stops. She looks at it, oh my, Krishna is now very strong. He's able to stop the churning rod. So Mother Yashoda feels very happy. So this is the form of Krishna, that Krishna manifests to Rohini, Mother Rohini. So at that time, he's already married, and suddenly his wife Rukmini comes there. And she sees this form, like Krishna became like very small suddenly. And then Krishna, noticing, immediately turns back to, Dwarkadish, the king. And then suddenly she feels, why suddenly Krishna changed it. So she immediately says, I want to see that form again. He says, no, that's not for you. Then she says, no, I really like that form. I want to worship that form. So Krishna then creates his Archa Vigraha form at that time for the worship by Rukmini. So Rukmini used to personally worship this particular form of Lord. Krishna with churning rod in the hand. And then over a period of time, so this got buried into Chandan in Vrindavan. And then one merchant is carrying, lot of goods, over the ocean. And then he comes to this Udupi beach, Malpai beach. So there, the ship actually, was in a hazy condition. There was heavy wind, and it was not a good ship to hold up. So the merchant became very worried, and he was calling for help. And some people called Madhvacharya, this Acharya there, he would come there and he would just wave his, some kind of a cloth to control the wind. And who is Madhvacharya? Anyone know? Madhvacharya is actually Vayu incarnation. He is Vayu avatar. In his previous form, he was Hanuman and Bhima, and then finally, they are more considered Vayu Putras, and he is Vayu himself. Mukhya Pran. His another name is Mukhya Pran. Mukhya Pran means the breath, air, right? So because he's the controller of air, he just waves his hand and stops the air. And then finally, the ship arrives safely. The merchant was extremely happy. He said, please, Acharya, please, ask me for anything that I can do for you as service. And Madhvacharya looks at, he knows what is happening already. He's an extraordinary Acharya. You should read Madhva Vijaya, a great book by Madhvacharya, on Madhvacharya's pastime by his disciple. Amazing pastimes. So in that, so he sees in that whole ship, there was big rock to hold the weight of these goods. Stability, right? For stability's sake. So he just says, I want that slab. I just want that slab of sand. It's not sand, like a mittika weight, chandan weight. He said, I want to give something more, but that is just a weight holder, right? But then he says, Madhvacharya says, I just want that. Because it is heavy, the merchant employs some 30, pahalwans to bring that rock outside the ship and present it to Madhvacharya. The 30 pahalwans goes inside water to bring out of the ship, right, the rock, and they couldn't carry. And then Madhvacharya sees this situation and he finally decides, okay, let me go and do it. So he himself alone goes and he lifts. He is extremely strong. He is Bhima. He is Hanuman. So he just single-handedly lifts up and brings it out. And as he lifts, immediately the stone breaks up, out of which comes Udupi Krishna form. Then he just carries the form of Lord. And nobody can carry that form of Lord except for Madhvacharya. So he carries and installs nearby there. So that is the story behind Udupi Krishna. There are many sweet pastimes of Lord manifested later on, but we don't have time, we'll move on. So each of these acharyas have attachment to one or the other form of the Lord. So now this is Udupi Krishna. So he lovingly manifested in the hands of Madhvacharya. Right? So you can see how Lord himself manifests to reciprocate his love. This is another great Acharya, Ramanujacharya. He is the Acharya of Sri Sampradaya. So he worshipped the form. So each Acharya has a deep attachment to one form of the Lord, specific form. So he is attached to which form? Anybody knows this temple? Huh? Padma, no. Huh? Sri Rangam, yeah. Ranganath Swami. Yeah. So this is Ranganath's form of the Lord, Ranganath Swami. He is a reclining posture. He is in a reclining posture, right? Mahavishnu form, Garbhodaksa Vishnu specifically. So this form is worshipped by Ramanujacharya. So there is a great story behind this also, how he manifested. So this is the form of Lord Vibhishana was about to carry from, to Sri Lanka. After, Ravana was killed, Vibhishana was installed as the king in the Sri Lanka. Vibhishana was a pure devotee of Lord. He's a Rakshasa, but he's born as a Rakshasa, but he's a pure devotee of Lord Rama. So he wanted Lord's presence. Lord says, I cannot come, but you take my form in this Ranganatha. So he presents him personally. Vibhishana carries this, and suddenly, he had to, for morning ablutions, he had to keep Lord at one place. And after keeping that, Lord says, I want to stay here. So that is where Srirangam, that's the place is Srirangam. But in Srirangam alone, Lord faces south. So that he actually sees Sri Lanka, where Vibhishana was ruling. So this Lord says, you go to your place, but from here I will actually watch you. So in this way, Lord is very reciprocal, right? So that is Ranganatha Swami. And so there was one great devotee called Andal in recent times. She was presented by her father the various forms of Lord out of 100. There are 108 Divya Kshetras that are of very high importance in in Sri Sampradaya. So when she was seeing, Andal was seeing, she was especially attracted to this form of the Lord. And she composed a poetry called, anybody knows the name? Tiruppavai. Pasuras. These 30 pasuras are so famous, they express the deep love of a devotee for the Lord. And in one of the pasuras, she says this Ranganath is the form of Lord Krishna himself. And these verses are recited by, the Sri Sampradaya devotees almost through the month of Dhanurmas. Right? So they are very powerful, invoked devotion in the heart of devotees. Right? So that is the worshipable form for Ramanujacharya, a great Acharya. He manifested about 1,000 years ago. Yeah, in South India. So almost all of South India follows the systems established by Ramanujacharya. And Adi Shankara, as you all know, right? He's also, so each of these acharyas are very great. Actually, the previous acharya that we discussed, Madhvacharya, he propounded the philosophy by the name Dvaita. Dvaita is how Lord and Jiva are different. Jiva cannot be Lord. That was the core philosophy, right? There is difference between Jiva and Lord, Jiva and Prakriti and Purusha are the Supreme Lord. So that was the overall philosophy. They're all devotional philosophers, right? And Ramanujacharya propounded the philosophy called Visishta Advaita. And Shankaracharya worshipped the form called Badri Vishal, Lord Krishna's form in Badri. Right? So he established this temple in Badri and he worshipped there. So each of the acharyas had a personal attachment to a specific form of the Lord. And as you know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the first time he sees the Lord in this Jagannath form, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, he arrives Puri. And the first time he sees, out of deep love, he keeps running towards the form of Lord. And he couldn't control his emotion the first time he sees, and he falls on the floor. And tears would profusely pour from his eyes out of his deep love for Lord. Right? And this form of Lord is the most munificent form of Lord. So this is the form. The eyes are very dilated, you see, very big eyes. Right? This is the most munificent form of the Lord. And this form of Lord is now even Derby days we are doing a parade, right? So this Lord comes to see the devotees of the Lord. Every year there is an annual festival called Radha that happens in Puri, where people from all the universe come. there will not be so many people at any other time. Nobody knows how so many people have suddenly manifest in that place. And by next day, everybody is gone. So lakhs and lakhs of people. I've been there once. It's not easy actually. Can't go to the rope. I lost my spectacles. I lost everything. Very tough. Yeah. But it is a great experience. Yeah. And Lord really is treated royally there. He is really treated like a king. And he has offered 64 offerings every day. And he is like a relaxed king there. And a very special cooking is done there. It's a kitchen called Lakshmi Kitchen, where Lakshmi Devi personally cooks, is the saying. And they just keep all the ingredients, they don't, everything manifests in a very wonderful way. And the pots are kept over each other. It's not like there is fire and the pots are kept in each other and everything gets cooked. Nobody knows how. Nobody can try outside there, outside of that kitchen. Very special form. Lord Chaitanya stayed in Puri for 24 years out of his 48 years of manifest time. Very, so many wonderful pastimes there. We won't go into the details. Yeah. So this is the Madhavendra Puri. Have you heard about Madhavendra Puri? Madhavendra Puri is the Guru of Ishwar Puri. Ishwar Puri is the Guru of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? So when Lord Chaitanya manifests in this world, he took Diksha to set a good example. Even Lord himself, Lord Krishna, when he came, he accepted also a Guru. What was the name of the Guru of when Lord Krishna accepted? Anyone knows? Sandipan Muni, yeah, Sandipan Muni. To set a good example for the world, right? So Madhavendra Puri, so when he was meditating in Vrindavan, so these Goswamis, they would just spend their time in Vrindavan meditating on the Lord, various pastimes of the Lord, chanting the holy names of the Lord. So one time when he was chanting, one boy comes, very charming boy, and he gives a pot of milk to Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri accepts it, and it was like milk from another world. It's extraordinary taste. Then he asks, "Who are you?" He says, "I'm a coward boy. Whenever I see some devotees chanting here, I just, help them, give them whatever they need." And the boy just runs away and disappears. And Madhavendra Prabhu was like touched by this beautiful figure. He never saw such a person like, he never saw a child like that. So he goes back after the meditation, when he goes back to his place, Kutir, and he rests there, in his night dream, the same boy comes. And he says that I'm the same, I'm Krishna himself. I just came to serve you. And I'm actually hidden in bushes somewhere there. So that specific form is called Gopal. So the Gopal form of deity was there in that form where he was meditating. So nearby there. So he was hidden under like bushes. So he says, I want to be served by you. So tomorrow, get the help of the Vrajavasis and dig me up and establish me a temple and worship me daily. So that was the dream. And the dream ends. Next day, Gopal exactly told where he is going to be found. So he goes to the exact place and he tells the villagers, please come. Gopal, told me in my dream that he's going to be here. Let's dig up and see if he's there. They dig, and then finally he's there. So devotees enthusiastically were so happy. Lord came in the dream and reciprocated with this Acharya in this sweet way. And then the Gopal deity was finally manifest. So he was put on a simple pedestal like you see there. And every day Chappan Bhog was offered when this particular manifestation happened. Chappan Bhog means like 64 items cooked every day for the pleasure of Lord. For 2 continuous years, that was done. So that was the form Gopal deity of Madhavendra Puri. And another time, the Gopal form again manifests in his dream. He says, Madhavendra Puri, go get me Chandan. I'm feeling very hot in Vrindavan. Get me Chandan and apply on my forehead every day. And Madhavendra Puri asks, where do I get Chandan for you now? And he says, go get from Puri. They have very good Chandan there. So then Madhavendra Puri all the way walks 1,000 miles to get to Puri. In those days, this is the kind of transport people used to have. He spends like a month walking all the way from Vrindavan to Puri. He comes there, and on the way he goes to a place called Remuna. So in Remuna there was a temple called Gopinath. So he goes and sees the form of Gopinath, and he was in love with the form of Lord there. And he hears that the Pujari there offers a special kheer called Amritikeli. He offers a special kheer called Amritikeli. And it is very famous for its taste. So Madhavendra Puri feels that, oh, if only I know what this is, I will also offer to my Gopal deity. He thinks like that. Then he feels, oh, I'm thinking about a sweet, the taste of the sweet before the Lord is offered that sweet today. I'm an offender. And he leaves to the marketplace in that city, Remuna. And he feels, he just goes on his services there, chanting and all. And then in that afternoon, the pots were offered, multiple pots are offered. And all the pots are taken back after offering is done. And then the Pujari goes back to, afternoon rest for half an hour. And in that dream, Gopinath comes and tells, hey, you offered all the Amritikali to others. I have kept one special part behind my farm. Go give this to Madhavendra Puri, he is in marketplace. In his dream, he comes, in the afternoon dream. And then this Pujari was surprised. He never heard such a thing. For the first time, in his dream, Lord is coming. And the Pujari goes out to the marketplace and declares, is there anybody known by the name Madhavendra Puri here? Nobody says, And finally, somebody finds this. There is this, Brahmana called Madhavendra Puri is on a search for Chandan here. So he was called for attention. Finally, he goes, okay, Madhavendra Puri, for you, Gopinath has stolen some kheer and kept behind his deity. He wanted you to taste it. Then, like, my God, he was like totally surprised for the reciprocation of the Lord. And then everybody in the Remuna city were recognizing Madhavendra Puri as a pure devotee. And he didn't want any of name, fame. Pure devotees, they are just attached to Lord. They don't care for what others think or name, fame. So he immediately want to leave the city. So he learns about that recipe and leaves that. And then finally he reaches Jagannath Puri. And in Jagannath Puri, he finds the Chandan. And after finding Chandan, on that night he rests. And the Gopal again comes to the dream. This time he says, see, I am the same farm in the farm Gopinath that you went to in Remuna. I'm in the same farm. Instead of bringing the Chandan all the way from Puri to here, you can offer there. So he makes this Chandan paste and offers there. On a regular basis, he offers there, and he takes some to Gopinath as well. So in this way, you can see how Lord reciprocates with his devotees. It's not like we worship Lord, it's one way love. No. Lord actually, when we develop deep love, Lord is a very personal, right? Very personal. So he reciprocates. Ye yatamam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham. So in the mode of worship you do transactional business with Lord, he will also do transactions with you. If you love selflessly, then he reciprocates accordingly, right? So this is Kheer Chor Gopinath. Gopinath who stole kheer for his devotee. Yeah. So this is in Remuna. It's on the way to Puri. If you ever go to Puri, you should visit this beautiful temple. Yeah. So in this way, there is Jayadeva Acharya. He wrote the Dashavatara, right? The Dashavatara shlokas. Yeah. So Jayadeva Pranadana He. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. So this is the form of Radha Madhava, worshipped by Jaydev Goswami, a great devotee of Lord. Will not go now because I have a lot more forms. So this is Advaita Acharya's worshipful form of Lord called Radha Madan Gopal. Radha Madan Gopal. This is the form worshipped by Advaita Acharya. Who is Advaita Acharya? He is one of the Panchatattva. So in the Panchatattva form of, when Lord Chaitanya manifests his Leela in this material world, there are 5 personalities there. Lord Chaitanya, who is Krishna himself, manifest. And then Nityananda Prabhu, who is Balaram. Advaita Acharya, who is incarnation of Mahavishnu. And then there is Gadadhar Pandit, who is the manifestation of Radharani. Yeah. And then Srivas Thakur is the manifestation of Narada Muni. So this is the Panchatattva. And so Advaita Acharya was the person who actually worshipped Narsingha with Tulasi for many, many years to invoke Lord Chaitanya in this world. So he is himself Mahavishnu, but he invoked the form of Krishna to be manifest in this world. Yeah. So this is Radha Govinda worshipped by Rupa Goswami. There are 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, right? So 6 Goswamis, and Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, they are the elder Goswamis. They are the ones who established entire Vrindavan. The Vrindavan that we know today, all the various pastimes, they were all set up by the Acharyas, especially Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. So Rupa Goswami's worshipful deity called Radha Govinda. And his elder brother called Sanatan Goswami, he worshipped the form called Radha Madan Mohan. So this is another great pastime here. So Radha Madan Mohan ji, I already mentioned about Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya had a disciple called Purushottam Chobe. He is a very spontaneous devotee of Lord. He is in Vrindavan. So one time, Sanatan Goswami was doing his sadhana on a daily basis. When he was doing sadhana, there were some boys playing around his place. The children are playing. And among the children, there was one very charming boy. He has, curly hair and very beautiful looking. And the play was over. At the end of the play, all the boys ran. This boy ran into Purushottam Cheba's home. And Sanatan Goswami was stunned looking at that boy only because he was so beautiful, extremely charming. He was playing like anybody else there. And then that night he goes to sleep, and in his dream, the same boy comes. No, actually, when the boy goes, Sanatana Goswami goes there just to continue watching him. And he goes there and just goes there in the form and stands like this. That is Radha Madan Mohan, the form of Lord that was there. See, he goes into the form of Lord. And then he tells Purushottam Chobe, hey, your Balakrishna is going out and playing. Take care of him nicely. You know, he may leave you sometime. Then on that night, the boy comes again in the dream of Sanatana Goswami and tells him, hey, I want to be worshipped by you. No, he says that Purushottam Chobe is a pure devotee also. I don't want to offend him. He's already worshipping you. He might feel offended if if I ask for your worship. No, no, don't worry. I'll come in his dream and I'll tell him also. So that same night, he comes in the dream of Purushottam Chobe and tells him that I, I know you have taken great care of me for many years, but I like to be worshipped by Sanatana Goswami. Please hand over tomorrow to him. I want to be with him. So next day, both meet. Dream came to both, confirmed. So the Purushottam Chobe, without any, he just gives hands off this little boy to in the form of deity to Sanatana Goswami. So Sanatana Goswami doesn't have anything. He's a Goswami. He doesn't have anything. So he would worship Lord just standing him on by his side like a roadside, like anywhere. He would just keep the deity form, and he would offer very simple offerings. Sometimes he would offer, generally Goswamis, they would, beg some roti from Vrajvasis, right? They get some dry roti and, good means, the sugar wala. They'll mix and eat. That's all they do. So that only he would offer to Lord, very simple offerings. So in this way, the Lord sometimes would ask, Sanatana Goswami, you are giving me such simple things. Give me some salt at least in that. In his dream, and he comes and tells him. He says, Lord, today you're asking salt, tomorrow you'll ask some sweets. I cannot get. I have to work. I have to do sadhana for you only. So I'm a simple man. Please adjust with whatever you have, whatever I have. So this is the loving reciprocation between the deity and the devotee. Yeah, sometimes he would keep the Lord in, this is a tree, under the tree park. He would keep and he would continue writing. One time, there was a wealthy merchant bringing lot of wealth in his ship. Again, similar pastime as Madhvacharya. And the ship gets stuck in the waters, high waters. And the owner of the ship was there, right there his name is Kapoor. Kapoor was, he doesn't know what to do, how to bring this whole thing to the shores. So he would inquire, he would come out of it with a small ship and inquire in the city, what can we do? And then this form of Lord, Madan Gopal, Madan Mohan, the same boy, goes and tells this Kapoor, hey, there is one great Vaishnava on this Dwadas Satyala, that there was a hill on which Sanatana Goswami would perform his daily sadhana and worship and writings. So go there. He is very powerful. If he wants to do something, he can do. Lord Krishna himself does that, by the way. It's not, he want to give the glory to the devotee. That's what always Krishna does. Krishna would have killed all the Kauravas in no time. But he want to give the glory to Arjuna. So he want to glorify his devotees. So So the Kapurji.
Prabhuji, can you share screen? We can't see the.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Do you see now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So the Kapurji goes to the Dwadas Satila hill and he requests Sanatan Goswami. Sanatan Goswami says, whatever Lord desires, it will happen. And I pray to the Lord that you would get out of this situation. As soon as he says, the ship smoothly sails to the shore. Kapur was extremely touched by this help, and he comes back to Sanatan Goswami and requests, what can I do for you for this great help that you did? Then he says, all I desire, I don't want anything for myself, but for my Lord, if you can do some temple, construct some temple, it can be a great place of worship for everyone in Vrindavan. So Kapur was extremely happy and he builds this beautiful Radha Madan Mohan temple. You see here, it was built like almost 600 years ago. So he builds this beautiful temple and Sanatan Goswami worships there, Radha Madan Mohan ji. Sanatan Goswami would do parikrama of Govardhan every day, and that would take multiple hours, right? And he would do that as his sadhana every single day. And when he becomes very old in his 70s, Lord comes in his dream. He says, Sanatana, my heart is breaking that you are walking all this, entire hill, even at this age. Can you, I can, if you want to go around, you don't need to do actually, because you are already perfected. You don't need to do this. Lord himself tells. He says, no, I have to do. Sanatana Goswami says, that's how devotees and Lord compete. The Lord wants to serve the devotee and devotee wants to serve the Lord. And then he says, finally Lord says they come to an agreement. So so Lord manifests his feet on a Shila and presents to Sanatan Goswami. This Shila is equivalent to me, the entire Govardhan. If you just go around this Shila, it's equivalent to doing parikrama, entire parikrama. So Lord presents to that, and on that, actually on that Shila, there is actually the footprints of Lord Krishna. And I have personally gone to see that. It's there even today. So it's there even today in Vrindavan. So you can go and see that footprints of Lord on the Shila. So this is a special love of Lord for his devotee. Yeah. So this is Madhu Pandit Pranadana. Madhu Pandit's worshipable deity called Radha Gopinath. Radha Gopinath ji. So these are all temples in Vrindavan. And each of these acharyas have various loving pastimes. If you go in depth, I'm just covering some stories, but each of them have special stories. Okay. Yeah. So this is Radha Damodar, the worshipable form of Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami is one of the 6 Goswamis, the youngest of all. And he is like nephew of Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami. And there is nobody so far in the entire creation, there is nobody as scholarly and philosophically deep as Jiva Goswami. Yeah, He is considered the most well versed in Vedic philosophy. He wrote entire Sanskrit Vyakaran in the form of, prayers to Lord Krishna. The entire Sanskrit prose, yeah. And he compiled books that are like, from each verse you can make a PhD. From each verse, it's not, that's how deep each of these verses are. He compiled the books called Sandarbhas, Paramatma Sandarbha, Jiva Sandarbha, very famous books, very deep philosophy, propounding the depth of worship of Lord Krishna. At some point, we should all study this. Right? And this is another beautiful passage I want to share this. So this is Radha Ramanji of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Gopal Bhatta Goswami is also one of the 6 Goswamis. We covered Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami. This is Gopal Bhatta Goswami, right? So Gopal Bhatta Goswami had several Shaligram Silas. He used to worship about 12 Shaligram Silas every day. One time, so all the other Goswamis have Krishna forms, right? Like Radha Madan Mohan, like that. Gopal Bhatt Goswami had Shilas. So one time a wealthy merchant, he offered new dresses for, new garments for all the Goswami deities, all the Goswami deities, and jewelry and all. So Gopal Bhatt Goswami also hears about this, and for a second he feels, oh, if only I had a Krishna form, I could have also, worn him nicely, nice dresses and nice jewelry and all. He just feels for a second. And that night, all the shaligrams are put to rest, 12 of them. From one of the shaligram, Gopal shaligram, Lord manifests in this specific form called Radha Madan Mohanji. So next day, when Gopal Bhatt Goswami opens the altar to see the shaligrams, one of them is missing, and that is actually turned into a full Krishna form. And the Radha Ramanji form is very small, this small. No person, individual, can carve so beautifully. His even finger nails are very clearly formed. So beautiful form of Lord, very beautiful, very sweet form of Lord, Radha Ramanji. So he manifests out of love for, his devotee like this in this form. He was like totally crying next day. And so this temple was established, Radha Raman temple in Vrindavan. Yeah, so this is Radha Vinoda temple established by Loknath Goswami. He is a later Acharya after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Panchatattva. This is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He established Radha Gokul Nanda, his worshipable deity. Yeah. See, this is Raghunath Das Goswami. So Raghunath Das Goswami, he was a very extremely renunciant Goswami. He's also one of the Goswami. He's known for his renunciation. Each Goswami is known for one special thing. Sanatana Goswami especially remembered for his writing. And then Rupa Goswami for his devotional composition again, especially in Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. This Goswami is especially known for his high renunciation. So this Goswami used to chant the holy name of Lord throughout the day on the banks of Yamuna in Vrindavan. And at that time, sometimes, in those days, it was more like a forest. Even lions would come. And the sun is so hot. And Das Goswami, he would not care anything. He would just continue his worship. And he was so deeply involved in his meditation. Lord Krishna would personally guard from behind. You see the Lord Krishna behind? He was, protecting this Goswami from behind. Sometimes when lions would come to drink water from, from this Radha Kund, so Lord would directly protect him like this. And sometimes even Radharani would cover her sari on his head so that sun doesn't affect him. So one time when this is happening, Sanatan Goswami passes by and he sees Radharani, directly putting her own sari. So after meditation is done, he meets this Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, and tells him, Prabhu, we have to serve Krishna, and Krishna is serving you right now. What do you think? So then devotees, they don't want to take service from Krishna. They want to somehow, and Krishna always want to take opportunity to serve back, right? So this time Krishna won. And then Sanatan Goswami recommends him, so construct a, small kutir for you. We'll construct a kutir for you and you can worship there. There will be nice shade and there won't be any challenges from animals of the forest, right? So then he constructs, he gets, he goes back to, kutir. So so that is Das Goswami's pastime. So you can see how Lord reciprocates with his devotees through various pastimes. This is to give us conviction. Lord is very personal. Lord is very loving. Lord is very caring. He cares for us more than we care for him, right? This is Shyamananda Pandit. He is one great acharya at a later time. He is the disciple of Hriday Chaitanya. They're all students. There are 3 students: Shyamananda Pandit, Srinivas Acharya, and Narottam Das Thakur. These 3 were, Siksha students of Jiva Goswami. So this is the deity worshipped by Shyamananda Pandit. The name of deity is Radha Shyam Sundar. Radha Shyam Sundar. Yeah. So this is very famous temple in Vrindavan called Banke Bihari temple. Very beautiful temple, right? So in the Banke Bihari temple, thousands of people throng. Devotees, whatever they desire, it will be fulfilled, especially spiritual desires. That is and the pujaris close the altar every 10 minutes. There was a saying that this Banke Bihari may leave any day if a pure devotee comes. So they want to, guard him in that way. So one time, there was one devotee, he was very much attached to this Banke Bihari form of Lord. And the evening worship is done. And Banke Bihari temple pujari says, I want to close the door. You can leave now. And the devotee says, oh no, I'm so attached, I want to stay here in the sanctum. He says, no, nobody stayed so far. You cannot create new rules for Please leave and tomorrow morning you can come. The devotee was so attached to Lord, he just goes outside and for that night he sleeps there. Next day, in the morning, the devotee is there. In the morning, early morning hours, 4 o'clock, the pujari comes to open the door for worship. At that time, he sees the devotee right opposite the temple. And there is also a big chadar on the body of the devotee. And the chadar is actually of Lord. And the pujari actually locked. And he wakes up, hey, what are you doing? You are wearing Lord's chadar. And the devotee wakes up and he says, I haven't even seen this. I don't know how it came up. And then he realizes, and he looks at the lock. Lock is fully, the door is fully locked. And then feels this devotee is definitely a pure devotee. And Lord has reciprocated his love for him by manifesting this chadar. And he immediately grants access to the temple. So that devotee always stays in the temple after that. So that's how the Lord reciprocates. So these are various pastimes of Lord. So this is Vrakreshwara Pandit's deity called Radha Kanta. So this is another great devotee of Lord. Vakreshwar Pandit is contemporary of Lord Chaitanya himself. He used to sing beautifully. This is more recent form of Lord called Gandharvika Giridhari by Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, who is the guru of Srila Prabhupada. Correct, yeah. So he's recent, only like 100 years back. Yeah. So there is one pastime of Shamananda. Shamananda Pandit, I told you, he's a Siksha disciple of Jiva Goswami. Yeah, correct. So he, his guru, Hriday Chaitanya, initiation disciple, initiation guru, he tells him daily clean the area of Radhakund where there is a lot of sand, clear the path so his understanding is every day there is Parakiya Leela of Lord Krishna in the nights. Lord Krishna along with his gopis, they perform various leelas there. So every day clean the space so that they can come and dance nicely there. So he would do that every day. If you know, this Vrindavan sand is very, very soft. It's like butter. Yeah. So he would clean that space every day. One time he finds a nupur there, a small nupur of a woman. So he finds that, and suddenly one beautiful young girl comes and asks Shamananda, please give me my nupur, our nupur. This is the nupur of my mistress. Oh, who is your mistress? She says she's actually Vishaka. She's actually a gopi. She says, I'll go and show you my. Shamananda says, I want to directly give it to your mistress only. I don't want to give you. Then finally, she goes under a tree, and then Radharani manifests directly her form and shows, and she's very pleased that she was able to get her nupur and blesses Shamananda. And in this way, a beautiful pastime happened. So in this way, Lord always looks for opportunities to reciprocate with his devotees. And we can worship Lord at our home as well, beautifully. So this is a beautiful form of Lord in the home of a devotee in Pakistan in a recent time. You can see how beautiful this form of Lord is. Look at the form of Lord. So fine. Right? Lord Krishna. So this Mataji here, she worships this form of Lord at her home every day, beautifully decorating every day. Look at how beautifully she decorated hair, all this jewelry. Radharani and Krishna, right? So Lord reciprocates with us in his personal form, in the form of deity at our home, Archavigraha. Wow, look at the beauty of Radharani here. The same family. This is home deities, these are not temple deities. The deities are really happy, right? That's why they're, yeah. Okay, so we can continue like this. I think we discussed a lot of pastimes. Yeah, we'll continue further later, okay? So we have a small presentation by Mataji here. Mataji, you want to Kalindi Mataji? You have a PPT or PDF? Can you send to WhatsApp? Already sent. I can share here so you can speak. I can take the. Sent. Yes, we have a very special service opportunity in Anandamela that Mataji is leading to make diorama of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. Yeah. You see there? No? Oh. Okay. Oh, I'm not sharing. See that now? Oh, I had to stop. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
So there is Anand Mela on 8th and 9th of August next month. So there are a lot of things that are new in this Anand Mela, and last year there was a Ramayan temple. If you have visited the Anand Mela, every year around 10,000 new visitors visit in the Anand Mela. It's a very big festival, and this year it's in the first week of August. So devotees have planned various dioramas as a presentation for the visitors. So last year Ramayan dioramas were presented, and it was really appreciated by all the visitors. They got to know so many things about Ramji, because many people don't know, or if they know also, they were very attracted that they were presented beautifully. So this year devotees have planned first. Yeah. So for this year, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are going to be presented as a diorama. So there are 12 dioramas, and out of that, this is the one scene that we are trying to present as a diorama. So diorama is like a presentation of a scene, but in a small space, like a 3D image, 3D scene of pastime. So this we are trying to show, and yeah, we need a lot of help in this. So if you all can participate and help in some way, that will be very nice. Actually, you said, yeah, these two scenes we both will combine and try to show, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started Sankirtan on the streets, and this he inaugurated in West Bengal in the 16th century. So this is the scene that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and other devotees are going on the streets and doing Sankirtan. So other people who are there in that town, they were all very attracted and joined. It was, this we want to show it very nicely. to get the message to whoever is looking. Yeah. So,
Next.
yes, so this is the last year's Ramayana dioramas. There are some pictures you can see. So these images, these are not the 3D images we put. Apart from people, everything is 3D, but the images are 2D. Okay, I can show you after some time. Yeah, this is one of the scenes. Yeah, this is one scene.
So we should make something like this. Huh?
There's something like this we want to present. So yeah, so we need your help in this sections. Like we want to make huts, houses to make a village. There will be trees and some temple we try to put. And actually images, so we get lot of help in image generation. We use ChatGPT to generate images of people who are doing something and who are watching from their homes, from the street. We are making a marketplace where things there something is going. Yeah, so we want to make something like this. This is like the that I try to put some houses, Bengali houses or hut. We are just making one or two and some trees. And this image I like generate using ChatGPT. It's easy, but there are many images, so many people will bring it. So yeah, these are some images I got, but like that.
Thank you, Mitzi.
Like,
Yeah, this is a great opportunity. These pictures will be preserved for a long time. And it's a great service opportunity. If you can spare few hours and you can do at your home. Mataji can, tell you what to make and you can make your part and, share with her. Yeah. So one more request. So today, the material we went over, I would like one of you to prepare a quiz on it. That way you go over it and, ask everybody. We can make like a, Kahoot. We can make a Kahoot kind of a quiz. Anybody would like to volunteer? Couple of you or three of you, you can go over the class today or, I'll share the presentations with you so that everybody remembers, just take like 10 minutes in the beginning of next week and you present it and everybody will answer. Like it could be questions from, the deity worshipped by Madhavendra Puri or things like that. It only takes like, half an hour effort from you, maybe, go over this. I'll share all the PPT and all with you. Everybody be prepared as well. So this will be more, interactive for you. So anyone, raise your hands, please. Shruti, anybody else? Any other girls? 2, 3 would be good. You can divide, huh? You will join. Divya also will join. Okay. So we'll do that next week. And I would like everyone to present like this, 10 minutes. Now it's beginning. So we want you all to also learn and present at some point. So then that becomes very concrete. Now what you are going to present will be a lot more concrete for you. So 10, 15 minutes you can start. Later on you can extend also. Yeah, thank you. Prabhu, you want to? Yeah, so one more thing is, we would like to cover, do some like birthday celebrations once a month at least for all the students, whoever participating here, right? So that way they receive the blessings, we all celebrate something and everybody feels connected. Prabhu has some plan. Want to share?
So I gave a spreadsheet that I think is going around. Don't worry, there is no year there. It is just there's the date, there are months, there are different boxes for months.
Please share your birthday.
Yeah, just share your birthday. That's my birthday. And then Prabhuji talked about the presentation part. So please actively participate in that. When I took my Bhagavad Gita classes, on an average, we used to write 2 tests every quarter. Prabhuji is kind enough, he's not asking me to write any exam. Just do the presentation. It's just like a kind of memory refresher for you for all the content that you are hearing. And it will also help you build your conviction in the philosophy, which is the most important part, which is where we are on. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we'll have Prashadam now. Thank you. So we didn't chant today. You're already late. So please chant at home.